The only reason my son isn't going to a public school is because the public school classes are larger than the private schools, and we think our son will do better with smaller classes offered by the private schools. We talked to the principal about continuing problems with the other boy trying to get close to our son. Principal said he'd talk to him and his parents again. He suggested getting the boys together to work things out. My jaw hit the floor at that suggestion. The other boy was doing everything in his power to be with my son, and this would be giving him exactly what he wanted. So that was a hard no. We made plans to change schools for our son's 8th grade. We applied to 2 other private schools and was accepted by both. One is secular, but it is too expensive and we didn't qualify for financial aid. The other turned out to be way too religious for my comfort. I can tolerate the Catholic light he's had, but this other school was over the top in my opinion. In the meantime, the other boy switched his attention to someone else in the class and stopped trying to get close to my son. Then the boy made a threat against another student with an earshot of a teacher, and that's all she wrote. The boy was suspended or expelled. I don't know which, because the school wouldn't tell us. Either way, he did not return for the remainder of the school year, and it is our understanding he will not return in the fall. Since our son wants to finish 8th grade at his current school, and the problem kid was gone, we reluctantly signed him up for another year at the school. We bought tuition insurance, so if the other boy does return, or we have other problems, we can pull our son out without being stuck paying for the entire school year of tuition. However, we're only kicking the can down the street. We're not going to send our son to a private high school because they're too far away and too expensive. So our son will be attending a local public high school. Unfortunately, we're in the same high school district as the other boy. We'll have to deal with that next year. Dealing with the situation at the local public high school is definitely a concern, but it's important to approach it with a positive mindset. While it's unfortunate that your son will still be in the same school district as the problem boy, there are steps you can take to ensure his safety and well-being. Firstly, it might be helpful to reach out to the school administration and express your concerns about the previous incident involving the problem boy. Request a meeting with the principal or guidance counselor to discuss your worries and ask about any measures the school has in place to address such issues. They may have policies or programs in place to handle disciplinary matters or support students who have faced threats or bullying. Additionally, encourage your son to be proactive in seeking support from teachers, counselors, or trusted adults at the school. Building a strong support network within the school community can provide him with a sense of security and someone to turn to if he encounters any problems. It's also important to keep open lines of communication with your son. Regularly check in with him about his experiences at school, any concerns he might have, and how he's feeling. Ensure he knows that you are there to support him and that his well-being is a top priority. In the meantime, consider exploring extracurricular activities or clubs that your son can join. Engaging in activities he enjoys can help him make new friends and find a sense of belonging within the school community. Encourage him to pursue his interests and passions, as this can also contribute to his overall happiness and well-being. Lastly, stay informed about any updates or changes in the situation with the problem boy. If necessary, don't hesitate to take action to ensure your son's safety and happiness, whether it's through reporting any concerning behavior to the school or considering alternative options if the situation worsens. Remember, while the upcoming transition to high school may seem daunting, it's important to approach it with a proactive mindset and a focus on your son's well-being. By staying involved and supportive, you can help him navigate any challenges that may arise and ensure he has a positive high school experience. Additionally, it may be beneficial to have open and honest conversations with your son about his feelings and concerns regarding the situation. Encourage him to express himself and assure him that you are there to listen and support him. Validate his emotions and let him know that it is normal to feel anxious or apprehensive about starting high school, especially given the current circumstances. Consider involving the school counselor or a trusted teacher in these discussions. They can provide guidance and support to your son, offering strategies for managing any potential conflicts or difficulties that may arise. They may also be able to address the concerns you have about the problem boy and provide insight into how the school is handling the situation. In the meantime, it may be helpful for your son to practice self-care techniques to alleviate stress and anxiety. Encourage him to engage in activities that promote relaxation and well-being, such as exercise, meditation, or creative outlets like art or writing. Remind him to prioritize his physical and mental health, as this will contribute to his overall happiness and resilience. Lastly, maintain open lines of communication with the school administration. Stay informed about any updates or changes in the situation and address any concerns you may have. If necessary, consider attending parent-teacher meetings or reaching out to school officials to discuss your son's well-being and any necessary precautions that can be taken. Remember, your son's well-being should always be a top priority. By staying involved, supportive, and proactive, you can help ensure that he has a positive and fulfilling high school experience. With the right strategies and support in place, your son can navigate any challenges that come his way and thrive in his new environment. Additionally, it is important to stay connected with your son's teachers and school administration. Regularly communicate with them to ensure that your son's needs are being met academically and emotionally. Share any concerns or challenges he may be facing and work together to find solutions. This open line of communication will not only help address any potential issues, but also allow you to stay informed about his progress and any changes in his school environment. Encourage your son to actively participate in his school community. Joining clubs, sports teams, or other extracurricular activities can help him make new friends, develop new interests, and feel more connected to his school. These activities can also provide a sense of belonging and support, which is crucial during the transition to high school. It is also important to establish a routine and set clear expectations for your son. Help him create a schedule that balances homework, study time, extracurricular activities, and leisure. This will not only help him manage his time effectively, but also provide structure and stability, which can reduce stress and anxiety. Lastly, encourage your son to take care of his physical and mental well-being. Encourage him to eat a balanced diet, get enough sleep, and engage in regular exercise. These healthy habits can help him stay focused, energized, and better equipped to handle the challenges of high school. Additionally, encourage him to practice self-care and engage in activities that he enjoys and that help him relax and recharge. Remember, transitioning to high school can be a challenging time for both you and your son. But with patience, support, and open communication, you can help him navigate this new chapter successfully.
After 10 years, we were finally meeting, and I was hoping for reconciliation, but instead, he just wanted money from me. I told him I couldn't give him such a large sum. He became defensive and asked why not. He then asked, "Is this about Dad's affair? Geez, when will you get over it?" I countered, "Why do you hate me? What have I done to deserve your hatred? Have I ever raised my voice? Have I ever hit you or denied you anything? Why have you always pushed me away when I try to get closer to you?" He sighed deeply and said, "You don't understand, Mom. You really expected me to come with you? You had nothing. At least my dad could afford the lifestyle I wanted, and my friends actually liked Carla, my stepmom," he continued. "Everything was fine until you discovered his affair and our deal. I understand you didn't hit me or scold me, but you weren't able to afford the life I wanted." I asked him if he really thought his father's affair was the best thing for us. Despite all the sacrifices I made for him, he had chosen someone he only met when he was 14 over me. He said he didn't want to talk about it because it was so many years ago, and I should just let it go. I asked him why he had never tried to visit me. I asked if his dad had stopped him, or if it was something I had done. He shouted at me, calling me annoying. He said his dad hadn't stopped him. He didn't want to meet me because I lived in a small, 2-bedroom apartment. He had also ignored my attempts to reach out to him on his 18th birthday because my gift was cheap compared to what his father and other people had given him. I agreed. My gift was a box of his favorite cookies and an old vintage watch. I was struggling at the time, so I couldn't afford expensive gifts. But did that mean he had the right to ignore me like that? I'd had enough. I told him in no uncertain terms that I would not give him the money. For years, I had wondered about him and how he was doing, yet he remained disrespectful towards me. Throughout our entire conversation, he didn't even ask how I was. He went straight to the money topic. I had hoped for reconciliation, but he was not interested. He had no idea how devastated I was when I found out the man I loved had betrayed me and my own son had lied for him. I had thought we shared a special bond. I had hoped that his father had lied to him about me. I cannot lie. I was relieved that he was dead because that meant he would not be there to manipulate my son anymore, but I was wrong. He is still the same kid he was 10 years ago. And the worst thing is, I feel sorry for him. I am going to let him learn the hard way, and I hope one day he understands what I have. I'm sorry to hear about the difficult situation you're facing with your son. It's understandable that you feel hurt and disappointed by his actions. It can be challenging when our loved ones let us down, especially when we had hoped for reconciliation and a chance to rebuild your relationship. It's important to remember that people change at their own pace, and sometimes they need to go through their own struggles and life lessons before understanding the impact of their actions. While it may be tough to watch your son make mistakes and face the consequences, it's also an opportunity for growth and self-reflection. As a parent, it's natural to want to protect and guide your child, but sometimes the best way to help them is by allowing them to learn from their own experiences. By stepping back and giving your son the space to understand the consequences of his choices, he may eventually come to a realization on his own. In the meantime, it's crucial to take care of yourself and focus on your own well-being. Surround yourself with a support system of friends and loved ones who can offer guidance and understanding during this challenging time. Remember that you deserve respect and love, and it's essential to set boundaries that protect your emotional well-being. It's also important to keep in mind that people can change, and there may come a time when your son realizes the impact of his actions and seeks reconciliation. Until then, focus on your own growth and healing. It's okay to feel sorry for him and hope for his eventual understanding, but ultimately, his journey is his own. If you find it difficult to cope with these emotions or need additional support, reaching out to a therapist or counselor can be beneficial. They can provide a safe space for you to express your feelings and help you navigate through this challenging situation. Remember, you are not alone, and with time, healing and understanding can come. Stay strong and take care of yourself. Remember that self-care is crucial during this time. Take the time to engage in activities that bring you joy and relaxation, whether it's going for a walk in nature, practicing yoga, or indulging in a favorite hobby. Make sure to prioritize your own well-being. Surround yourself with positive influences and lean on your support system. Reach out to friends and loved ones who understand your situation and can offer advice or simply lend a listening ear. Sometimes, talking about our feelings can provide a sense of relief and perspective. Setting boundaries is also key to protecting your emotional well-being. It's important to communicate your needs and expectations clearly, letting others know what you will and will not tolerate. By doing so, you are asserting your worth and asserting your right to be treated with respect. While it can be challenging, try to focus on your own growth and healing rather than solely dwelling on your son's actions. Remember that people can change, and there may come a time when your son realizes the impact of his behavior and seeks reconciliation. If you find it difficult to cope with these emotions or need additional support, consider reaching out to a therapist or counselor. They can provide a safe and non-judgmental space for you to express your feelings and help you navigate through this challenging situation. Remember, you are not alone in this. Surround yourself with love and support. Take care of yourself and trust that with time, healing, and understanding can come. Stay strong and remember that you deserve happiness and peace in your life. Remember that setting boundaries and asserting your worth does not mean shutting your son out completely. It is important to find a balance between protecting yourself and leaving room for growth and reconciliation. You can communicate your boundaries to your son in a calm and assertive manner, letting him know what behaviors you will not tolerate and what you expect from him. This can serve as a starting point for a conversation about his actions and the impact they have had on you. It is also important to focus on your own growth and healing. Take the time to reflect on your own emotions and needs and prioritize self-care. This may involve seeking support from a therapist or counselor who can help you navigate through the complex emotions you are experiencing. Surround yourself with a support system of friends and loved ones who can provide understanding and empathy. Sharing your feelings with trusted individuals can help alleviate some of the emotional burden you may be carrying. Engage in activities that bring you joy and help you regain a sense of control and happiness in your life. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. Many others have faced similar challenges and have found ways to heal and rebuild relationships. Have faith in your own resilience and trust that with time and effort, healing and understanding can come. Stay strong, take care of yourself, and believe that you deserve love, happiness, and peace in your life. Remember to be patient with yourself during this process. Healing takes time, and it's important to give yourself the space and compassion you need to heal. Allow yourself to feel the full range of emotions that come up, whether it's anger, sadness, or confusion. It's okay to not have all the answers right now. In addition to seeking professional help, consider exploring self-care practices that resonate with you. This could include activities like journaling, meditation, exercise, or spending time in nature. Engaging in activities that bring you joy and relaxation can help restore a sense of balance and well-being. It's also important to set boundaries with the person who has hurt you, if necessary. You have the right to protect yourself and prioritize your own well-being. This may involve limiting contact or even cutting ties with toxic individuals. Surround yourself with people who uplift and support you and who genuinely care about your well-being. Remember that healing is a journey, and there may be setbacks along the way. If you find yourself struggling, don't hesitate to reach out for help and support. You are not alone, and there are people who want to help you through this difficult time. As you navigate through the process of healing, be gentle with yourself and celebrate small victories along the way. Recognize your own strength and resilience, and know that you have the power to create a happier and healthier future for yourself. Keep faith in your ability to heal and rebuild, and believe that you deserve love, happiness, and peace in your life.
My fiancé left me for the one that got away, but now he wants me back. My fiancé and I had been together 3 years. He was my first boyfriend. We laughed, cried, and were overall very happy together. Our families had mixed really well. Our moms became close friends really fast. He was my best friend, my confidant, my support, my comfort. I looked at him and could see our future together. I'm even crying, remembering one time we took a blanket, went outside, and looked up at the stars like in some book. I never thought something like this could happen to me. The man I loved could have never done anything like that to me. It all started about 2 months ago. His high school sweetheart, who he was with for 7 years, moved back to our country and wanted to catch up with Mark. He told me they broke up because they were unable to sustain a long-distance relationship when she left to pursue her postgraduate studies. They hadn't been in contact for 5 years. She sent him an email trust them.
As a medical professional, I suggest terminating pregnancy if your kid will come out severely disabled. Here is why. I was a PICU nurse for 10 years, and we saw a lot of these incompatible for life children in and out of our PICUs until they inevitably died. A friend messaged me as they got a pretty serious diagnosis for their daughter while she was in utero. He asked for the honest truth. I told him the truth is your kid will likely not be a success story. They will get sick frequently. Their immune systems are terrible. They'll be hospitalized due to the flu. That's not even mentioning all the infections they get. Your home will have medical equipment in it that will drain your finances to the bottom. You might have a bedroom for them, but you might need to consider their caregivers if you get in-home help. Is there enough room for them to sit with and do care for a shift? Or do you need to move your child into a living room? You can't work like normal because you need special medical and special needs caregivers. You can't just take your kid to daycare or have a babysitter watch them. Your whole family's needs and activities will revolve around their needs and care. If anyone else will be responsible for caring for them, they need to get trained on how to do this and the equipment needed at the hospital and nest. Doing all the care with us, helping so they're closer to being ready to do it at home. Marriages have a hard time surviving this. Resentment gets born out of the workload and the impact on the relationship. Going with traditional roles, usually the moms take on the brunt of all the care, the hands-on care, arranging appointments, calling insurance companies, fighting for equipment and supplies, trying to find qualified caregivers or a home health company, fighting insurance again to get help to come by the house even a few hours a week so you get some respite. The other partner will be working constantly due to the need for finances and potentially your inability to work. They'll come home tired. No time for your relationship. You're both understandably worn out. Your other kid will be lucky to get some time with their parents, and their relationship with both of you will not be the same. Your other kid will be fully impacted. They will become a second priority because your daughter will need so much care. They will be known as the sibling of a sick child. They will grow up visiting hospitals and clinics. They won't get both their parents' attention at the same time because your responsibilities are so split, and your daughter will need constant care. He will remember his childhood under the shadow of his sister. My friend and his wife ultimately terminated their pregnancy as they felt it was the best thing they could do for her. I'm really sorry to hear about the difficult situation you're describing. It sounds like a challenging and emotionally draining experience for both you and your friend. It's understandable that they would consider all options and make the decision they believe is in the best interest of their daughter. The termination of a pregnancy can be an incredibly difficult choice to make, and it's important to remember that every individual and family's circumstances are unique. Sometimes, parents may make such decisions after careful consideration of the potential quality of life for their child and the impact it may have on their family as a whole. It's important to recognize that the decision to terminate a pregnancy is deeply personal, and it's not for anyone else to judge or question. It's a complex and sensitive matter that should be approached with empathy and understanding. If your friend and his wife have made this decision, it's essential to offer them support and understanding during this challenging time. They may be experiencing a wide range of emotions, and having a strong support network can be crucial for their well-being. Additionally, it's important to remember that there are resources available for families who have children with special needs or illnesses. Organizations, support groups, and medical professionals can provide guidance, assistance, and respite care to help alleviate some of the challenges associated with caring for a child with complex medical needs. It's also worth considering that every child is unique, and although the sibling may have to adjust to a different family dynamic, it doesn't necessarily mean their relationship with their parents will be negatively impacted. With open communication and a supportive environment, it's possible to maintain a strong bond with both children. Ultimately, it's important to respect the decisions made by your friend and his wife and offer them the support they need during this difficult time. During this challenging time, it's understandable that your friend and his wife may be experiencing a wide range of emotions. It's crucial for their well-being to have a strong support network to lean on. As a friend, you can be there to listen, offer a helping hand, or simply provide a shoulder to lean on. In addition to emotional support, it's important to remember that there are resources available for families who have children with special needs or illnesses. Organizations, support groups, and medical professionals can provide guidance, assistance, and respite care to help alleviate some of the challenges associated with caring for a child with complex medical needs. These resources can offer a much-needed break for parents, allowing them to recharge and take care of their own well-being, which is essential for their ability to provide the best care for their children. It's also worth considering that every child is unique, and although the sibling may have to adjust to a different family dynamic, it doesn't necessarily mean their relationship with their parents will be negatively impacted. With open communication and a supportive environment, it's possible to maintain a strong bond with both children. Your friend and his wife may need guidance and advice on how to navigate this new situation, and you can offer your support by encouraging them to seek professional help or connecting them with other families who have gone through similar experiences. Ultimately, it's important to respect the decisions made by your friend and his wife and offer them the support they need during this difficult time. Let them know that you are there for them, both practically and emotionally. By being a listening ear, offering assistance when needed, and connecting them with appropriate resources, you can help them navigate through this challenging period and ensure that their family receives the care and support they require. You can also suggest that your friend and his wife consider involving their other child in the adoption process. This can help foster a sense of inclusion and ensure that the sibling feels connected to their new family member. It could involve discussing the adoption plans with the child, allowing them to share their thoughts and concerns, and involving them in age-appropriate activities related to the adoption process. Encouraging open and honest communication within the family is crucial during this transition. Your friend and his wife should make sure to have regular family meetings where everyone can express their feelings and concerns. This will provide an opportunity for the sibling to ask questions and share any worries they may have. Additionally, it may be helpful for your friend and his wife to seek counseling or therapy for their family. A professional can guide them in navigating the complexities of adoption and help them address any challenges that arise. They can also provide support in creating a nurturing environment where both children feel loved and valued. Lastly, remind your friend and his wife that they are not alone in this journey. There are support groups, online forums, and organizations dedicated to helping families through the adoption process. Connecting with these resources can provide them with a sense of community and reassurance that they are not the only ones going through this experience. Overall, by offering your support, guidance, and connecting them with appropriate resources, you can help your friend and his wife navigate the adoption process and ensure that both children feel loved and supported in their new family dynamic.
His ex wanted him back. She had realized what she had lost and risked losing for good when he told her he was getting married. He supposedly refused her at first, but as time passed and they talked together, his old feelings came back. He hoped I would forgive him one day and understand. I cried as he was talking. It sounds stupid, but it was as if it was a stranger in front of me. He said he would still pay rent and part of the bills until our lease was up and I could find another place. He makes a lot more than me, and I wouldn't be able to afford living in our apartment on my own. I begged him not to make this mistake, that he was being fooled by an idealized memory of their past together, that he was having cold feet. But he was like a wall. He didn't even look at me. At about 10 p.m., there was a truck outside with one of his friends waiting for him. He apparently came to help him move. I wasn't really close with that particular friend, that he did seem sorry for me. Mark hugged me goodbye and left. I hadn't cried that hard in years. I slept in our spare room, not to feel the emptiness of our room with his things gone. I sang to the deepest pathetic depths and tried to call him, but it went to voicemail. I had no idea where he went, but assumed he was now living with his ex after 3 weeks of talking again. How ridiculous. I'm really lucky to have supportive friends and family. My best friend even moved in for 5 days. My parents wanted me back home with them, but I wasn't ready to leave. Mark is a bit messy, and I love everything clean, so it felt weird having everything perfectly neat. I missed his messiness. It was as if he was the one making our house a home. He used to joke about me wanting the house to look like it was on sale or in a catalog. Not waking up to make breakfast, not seeing him read lying on the sofa while I studied felt weird. Not buying his favorite snack or powder proteins when doing groceries felt weird. I felt really lost at first. It was like grieving. Usually when people break up, the relationship goes south, but to me, it came out of nowhere. I still loved him. I was still planning the wedding and working on my side to build our future together. It was all gone in a day. I wish I had been smarter and refused to meet his one that got away. His family was dumbfounded. I still went to see his grandma, and she told me he was a fool, that he would come back crawling to me. She was the first person who managed to make me laugh. Maybe she'll be right. Maybe she'll be right, I thought to myself as I listened to Mark's grandma's words. Her wisdom and humor brought a glimmer of hope to my heart, even in the midst of my pain. I knew deep down that I couldn't just give up on us, on the love we had built together. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. The initial shock and confusion slowly faded, replaced by a determination to fight for what we had lost. I started to focus on myself, rediscovering my own passions and dreams that had taken a back seat during our relationship. As I immersed myself in my own growth, I couldn't help but reflect on the good times we had shared. The messy house, the teasing about my desire for cleanliness, and the simple joy of being in each other's presence. Those memories began to outweigh the pain of our separation. I reached out to Mark, not with anger or blame, but with a genuine desire to understand what had gone wrong. We met at our favorite coffee shop, the place where we had shared countless conversations and laughter. As we sat across from each other, I could see the remorse in his eyes. He confessed that he had been confused, feeling overwhelmed by the pressure of commitment and the fear of missing out on other experiences. He had let his doubts get the best of him, seeking solace in the past, instead of embracing the future we had envisioned together. Listening to his words, I realized that our love hadn't vanished overnight. It had simply been clouded by uncertainty and fear. We were both victims of our own insecurities, but we had a choice: to let those insecurities define us, or to rise above them and rebuild what we had lost. In that moment, I made a decision. I chose to forgive him, not just for the pain he had caused, but for the love we had shared. I understood that relationships were messy, and that sometimes we had to embrace the chaos in order to truly appreciate the beauty. From that day forward, we embarked on a journey of healing and rebuilding. It wasn't easy, and there were moments where doubt crept in, but we remained committed to each other and to the life we had planned. Gradually, the messiness returned to our home, and with it came a sense of familiarity and comfort. We learned to embrace each other's quirks and differences, finding joy in the imperfections that made our relationship unique. Looking back, I realized that our separation had been a wake-up call, a reminder that love required effort and commitment. It wasn't just about the grand gestures or the future plans, but about the small, everyday moments that made us feel alive. Mark's grandma had been right. He did come crawling back, not out of weakness, but out of a newfound understanding of what we had lost. And together, we built a stronger foundation, one that could weather any storm that came our way. Sometimes it takes losing something to truly appreciate its value. And in our case, it took losing each other to realize that our love was worth fighting for. As we moved forward, we made a conscious effort to communicate better and to prioritize our relationship above all else. We vowed to never let the distance between us grow again, knowing that it was a slippery slope we never wanted to tread again. We started to plan more date nights, even if they were just simple evenings spent cooking together or watching a movie on the couch. We made sure to carve out dedicated time for each other amidst our busy schedules, reminding ourselves that love needed nurturing and attention. With time, the wounds of our separation healed, and we became more open and vulnerable with each other. We shared our fears, hopes, and dreams, creating a deep emotional connection that fortified our bond. We discovered that true intimacy went beyond physical touch. It was about being fully present and understanding each other on a profound level. In the process, we learned to let go of our old expectations and embrace the changes that life brought our way. We realized that love was not about control or possession, but about supporting each other's growth and happiness. We cheered each other on as we pursued our individual passions and celebrated each other's successes. Through it all, we never forgot the lessons we had learned during our time apart. We remained committed to working through any challenges that came our way, knowing that our love was worth the effort. We understood that relationships were not always smooth sailing, but it was the journey through the rough patches that truly tested and strengthened our love. As the years passed, our love continued to deepen and evolve. We faced hardships and celebrated triumphs together, knowing that no matter what, we had each other's backs. The memories of our separation became a constant reminder of how far we had come and how much we had grown both individually and as a couple. Looking back, I couldn't help but feel grateful for the difficult journey we had traversed. It was through the pain and the struggle that we discovered the true depths of our love and commitment. Our separation had been a turning point, a catalyst for growth and transformation that ultimately brought us closer together. And so, we continued to build our life together, cherishing the small moments and embracing the imperfections that made our love story unique. We knew that love was not always easy, but we also knew that it was worth fighting for. And as we faced the future hand in hand, we were filled with a profound sense of gratitude for the love that had brought us back together and made us stronger than ever before. As time went on, our relationship continued to deepen and evolve. We learned to communicate better, to understand each other's needs and desires, and to navigate the ups and downs of life with grace and resilience. We became each other's biggest supporters, always there to lend a listening ear or offer a comforting embrace. Together, we faced new challenges and celebrated new triumphs. We tackled career changes, moved to new cities, and even started a family. Through it all, we remained a team, united in our love and commitment. Our love story became a testament to the power of perseverance and the beauty of second chances. We no longer took our relationship for granted, understanding that it was a precious gift that required constant nurturing and care. As we look back on our journey, we realized that our separation had been a blessing in disguise. It had forced us to confront our own insecurities and fears, to confront the aspects of ourselves that needed growth and transformation. It had shown us the depths of our love and the resilience of our bond. And so, we continued to build a life together, cherishing the small moments and embracing the imperfections that made our love story unique. We learned to appreciate the ordinary moments, finding joy in the simple act of cooking dinner together or curling up on the couch for a movie night. We knew that love was not always easy, but we also knew that it was worth fighting for. We made a commitment to never take each other for granted, to always prioritize our relationship amidst the chaos of life. We made a promise to continuously deepen and evolve, to grow individually while also growing together. The only reason school play,